there, SINTA. This is a video for my playlist I like to call Epic Drum Sounds, and it is a recreation of the Stewart Copeland drum sound from the record Ghost in the Machine. In particular, the song is One World, which is one of my favorite drum sounds because, well, of course, Stewart's playing, which is pretty unparalleled in many ways. But the sound itself, it's incredibly punchy. It's got this great low end that still comes through with like kind of aggressive amounts of attack. It's also got this roomy dance hall vibe, which is kind of blended in with this super punchy aggressive sound. And then it has these kind of King Tubby reggae delay style effects that keep coming in and out. The high tuned snare, it's got to have a lot of attack, but it's also got to have a lot of body and low end to it. And then compressing a bit, keeping all the attack in here. So pretty slow attack, so we're not grabbing that front transient, but releasing it fairly quickly. Low compression level, 3:1. So I'm not really trying to squash it. That's just helping to bring out some of the character of the snare. And interestingly enough, I think to retain the low end, I have the bottom snare muted. So I felt like there was enough high end coming out of the snare itself. So here's the snare and the overheads together. Same thing with the bass drum. It's got to have a lot of attack, but not a kind of annoying 4K in your ear attack. It's got to have punch and low end with real definition in it. Here's the kick out. This bass drum is super dry, and here's the very non-impressive solo sound of the kick out. All right, let's add the kick in. I'll give you the kick in separately here. Much more attack, punchier. Here are the kick out and the kick in together. So again, there's a lot of attack, but blending in that outside kick to get some of that low end that hopefully landing in your chest. Okay, so there's 5 microphones. Very punchy sound, a little bit of compression. Third problem. I don't use those particular kind of cymbals. In his case, were PAISTE Rudes. I used much darker cymbals, Istanbul, AGOP cymbals. So what I did is I tried to mix and match some hi-hat pairs that I had to see if I could get this particular sound out of his hi-hats, which was kind of a low sound actually, very dry, but had some brightness to it. So I did whatever I could to kind of match this tone. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a lot of high end to this hi-hat, partly because they're fairly dark hi-hats, and I'm just trying to match the EQ to the track, and along with the overheads, this is how much I feel I needed to add just to get there. 4. The dance hall ambience, yet keeping the punch. Let's add in the rooms, and this is going to give us some ambience. And these are also being sent to a reverb. Let's just check them out dry first. So here's the room off, and I'll add them in. So that's kind of giving us a stereo effect. It's also obviously adding the room in. So we're keeping it pretty low here at minus 17 dB, and that's helping us add some ambience to the sound. I'm also sending this to a separate reverb that had more of a larger room to give it that dance hall vibe. on halls, believe it or not. It's not very long. Well, it is long, 2.5 second verbs. Here's all the mics with the verb. The verb is very low, but this little bit is helping the track a lot. Let's go check out some of the delay I have going on here. One of the delays that Stewart used at one point was the Roland space echo. So I'm using the space echo setting on SOUNDTOY's Echo Boy here, and I have it on an 1/8 note delay. So basically, this 1/8 note delay, from what I hear in the track, it's pretty tucked in, but it's almost always going. So it's almost giving it like a slap in the room. It's as if you were playing your drums kind of inside a wooden hall that had kind of a great slap coming back off the walls. And this is kind of giving it this kind of live dance hall feeling. So to me, that all of a sudden now it feels like our drums are in a particular place. We have transported from the studio into kind of visions of people kind of getting down to this in a certain room. So, which is really the idea. Next, we have this separate quarter note delay set up. Again, using the Echo Boy setting. And what I've done here is with kind of King Tubby style, you know, as if you were sitting at a mixing board, muting it and unmuting it. I've set this up. Basically, certain points of fills, whether it's toms or hi-hat, this is kind of coming in and off, on and off. Here's another example. And of course, playing like Stewart, which is what it is. A lot of people can kind of do a cheap imitation, and this is mine. One thing to remember with these videos is you don't have to have the exact same gear or the exact same microphones. A lot of it is just about exploring what you have, doing a lot of tuning, get it as close as you can in the room, and then dive in. Hey all, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you want to get more in depth on things like this, please head over to sticksandwires.com. It's a place I'm building an online community. This is going to be for engineers, drummers, producers, anyone that's into the art of recording drums. Over there, I'm going to be sharing all my knowledge. It's going to include everything from drum tuning, picking drums for a song, using EQ, using compression, picking microphones, microphone placement, using your room. Of course, some of this applies to live drumming also, just getting great sounds out of your drums. Please click on the link below, add your email address at sticksandwires.com, and you will have immediate access to a video called The 5 Fundamentals of Studio Drumming. All right, I hope to see you over there. Thanks. Bye.